Welcome to Hilton High School and our introduction ceremony for the 2025 Hilton Hall of Fame inductions. I'm Dr. Casey Kosorek, and I am the proud superintendent of the Hilton Central School District. At this time, if you would please join me in standing for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, thank you very much. Before we get started, I would ask anyone, the first class that was inducted here at Hilton was the class of 1999, and every 3 years, barring the pandemic, we've done inductions every 3 years. So if we have any past inductees here, if you could please stand up for us. All right, let's give them a round of applause. Excellent. Well, we want to thank everybody for being here. One of the great things about my job, in addition to acting as the host of ceremonies for events like today, are the amazing accomplishments that occur in our schools on a daily basis. At this time, please join me in enjoying a short video highlighting some of what makes Hilton so special.
Close my eyes and I can see a world that's waiting up for me, that I call my own. Through the dark, through the door, through where no one's been before, but it feels like home. They can say it all sounds crazy. They can say I've lost my mind. I don't care if they call me crazy. We can live in a world that we design. 'Cause every night I lie in bed, the brightest colors fill my head. A million dreams are keeping me awake. I think of what the world could be, a vision of the one I see. A million dreams is all it's gonna take. Oh, a million dreams for the world we're gonna make. There's a house we can build. Every room inside is filled with things from far away. Special things I compile, each one there to make you smile on a rainy day. They can say it all sounds crazy. They can say we've lost our minds. See, I don't care if they call us crazy. Run away to a world that we design. 'Cause every night I lie in bed, the brightest colors fill my head. A million dreams are keeping me awake. I think of what the world could be, a vision of the one I see. A million dreams is are keeping me awake. I think of what the world could be, a vision of the one I see. A million dreams is all it's gonna take. A million dreams for the world we're gonna make. For the world we're gonna make.
So a few more thanks before we get into the meat and potatoes of today. One of the great things about Hilton and one of the great things about our community is the support for our education and facilities. So as you notice today, we have mocked up sound system, and that is because this is one of our capital improvements. So I do want to thank Mrs. Kim Rudd for all of her work in making sure that we have sound today. If we can give her a round of applause, please. Many of you have met my assistant, Michelle. We want to thank Michelle for keeping us all on track today. I want to thank the administrative team for all the work that they did to get us to this point as well. So let's give them a round of applause. And last but not least, our technology department, who's going to keep us on schedule and make sure everything's running the way it should. Let's give them a round of applause. At this time, I would like to introduce the president of our Board of Education, Mrs. Nancy Pickering.
Good afternoon, everyone. On behalf of the entire Hilton Board of Education, I would like to congratulate you, our 5 Hilton High School Alumni Hall of Fame inductees. When I first read through your biographies, my first thought was, wow, we are safe. We are safe from fire, disease, financial calamity, and military incursion. We are supported by the divine with an eco-friendly edge added to it. What a way to kick off homecoming. Your many accomplishments are a testament to who you are as a person. That you began your journey at Hilton High School is a significant point of pride for the entire school district. Our hope is that the teachers and staff that you encountered along the way supported and enhanced your personal development. That your talents, perseverance, and passion for what you do has been cultivated and encouraged throughout your high school career. We thank you for your contributions to society, our community, our alumni, and our current students. Please know that as we celebrate with you throughout the day, you serve as an example to our students and our community of the positive impact of public education. Again, on behalf of the entire Board of Education, congratulations on your induction into the Alumni Hall of Fame.
A few years ago, after gathering input from staff, students, and community members, the district developed our cadet intentional values. These 4 beliefs are the foundation for every decision we make at the district level. They are also evident in the 5 individuals we are honoring this afternoon and play an integral part of why they are where they are today. Integrity, welcoming and affirming, people first, and lifelong learning. John, Karen, Randy, Nancy, and Jeffrey have all led lives exemplifying these values, and we could not be prouder to call them cadets. Our first honoree tonight is retired United States Army Lieutenant Colonel John T. Franz. John was a member of the class of 1993 who went on to West Point and eventually become a helicopter pilot, serving 3 tours of duty in Afghanistan. John spent more than 28 years in the Army, but his service to others didn't stop, dedicating much of his time and energy to numerous church groups. To introduce John and welcome him into the Hall of Fame is fellow 1993 graduate, current Hilton High School chemistry teacher, and close friend of John's, Dr. Carlton Gaup.
Today we recognize the extraordinary career, achievement, sacrifice, and service of Lieutenant Colonel John Franz. Upon graduating from Hilton, John enlisted in the United States Army, working his way into the United States Military Academy at West Point. He graduated in 2000 with a degree in mechanical engineering and a minor in aeronautical systems. As a fresh lieutenant, his first post was along the demilitarized zone of South Korea. Later, he was assigned to Fort Drum in the 10th Mountain Division. When 9/11 occurred, John was deployed to Afghanistan, where he served 3 combat tours. During that time, he flew countless missions as both a Black Hawk and Chinook helicopter pilot, landing those huge aircraft in some unimaginable locations. Following his combat tours, John took on the role of instructor at Fort Rucker, Alabama, so that he could be closer to his growing family. From there, he and his family had stops in Texas, Maryland, and then Japan as the commander of the U.S. Army Aviation Battalion in Camp Zama. Finally, John was stationed in Germany for the remaining 3 years of his illustrious career. For his service and bravery, John was awarded over 39 commendations, including 2 Bronze Star medals, 3 Meritorious Service Medals, 3 Afghanistan Campaign Medals, and a 1st Cavalry Combat Badge. He was promoted to Lieutenant Colonel in 2017 and retired from active duty, having served for a total of 31 years in June of this year. Character is what you do when no one is looking. My wife and I were in a movie theater during the winter of 2012. Normally, I don't answer phone calls during a movie, let alone when I don't recognize the number. But when my phone rang and it was from Coronado, California, I needed to answer. It was John, calling me from Afghanistan during one of his combat tours to see how I was doing after the recent death of my father. He didn't have to do that. He had way more pressing issues at hand and his own safety to consider. That's character. John is a father, a good friend, a patriot, and a cadet. Please join me in honoring Lieutenant Colonel John Franz.
It's been a long road. Friends, guests, thank you for the honor of your presence today. I retired from the Army a few months ago, as Carl told you, and I started a new career. And it's a new chapter in my life, much like when I graduated in 1993 from this illustrious place. And I've been trying to figure out what I should do with the rest of my life, just like when I was a high school senior. And I'm blessed to have a new job, of course. We could talk about that later, but thank you, Hilton High School, for your support and and encouragement during this stressful time in my life. This is a great honor. I appreciate your kindness today and cherish your accolades. Thanks to everyone for being here today. I'm truly blessed. On a side note, my seasonal allergies might be flaring up. That's code for I might get emotional. So just forgive me if it looks like I'm going to cry, because it might happen. Dr. Gott, thank you for being a great wingman. Thank you for keeping me on track, for your honesty, putting up with my meanderings all around, and your genuine concern for our community. I just thank you for keeping up with me through all my ups and downs, pun intended. I am a helicopter pilot. But most of all, thank you for being my friend. Everything looks great today. I sincerely thank you and wish the best for you, Janet, Will, and Emma in the future. I want to give glory to God today. He always carried me through. His goodness and grace are evident in my life. Looking back, I cannot explain how or why I was afforded so many opportunities, so he deserves the credit. Thank you, Lord. Selfless service is putting the welfare of the nation and everyone else before your own. Selfless service is larger than just any one person. God put so many people in my life in the way, in my path. Unknowingly or knowingly, they influenced my future and demonstrated selfless service. So I'm going to mention a few today. First, I have to mention Tom Dowd. He was my chemistry teacher before basically all the students were born here. But don't take offense to the educators in here. It was the only teacher I truly liked. I didn't like school. He taught me that school could be fun. Go figure. And that's probably why I liked him. And Mr. Dowd helped me understand that I had a future and that it was up to me to go and get it. And so that I give credit to him for that. So once upon a time, over 31 years ago, a 19-year-old rebellious kid who was too smart for his own good, who came from a poor family in rural New York, found a new family in the Army. And yes, we're talking about me. The next great American that came in my path through this journey was Sergeant First Class Shaw, an instructor at the Army Helicopter Mechanic School. When I enlisted, I went to be a mechanic. He took his personal time to help an immature private, me, Private Franz, put together his West Point packet. He wasn't a super soldier, but he cared about me during a time in our Army when caring wasn't cool. And so, for him to do that for me is just out of character for most sergeants, but I owe him much gratitude. He literally helped me grow up. Next, there's my beautiful wife, Tracy, who's not here today. Yes, if any of you know, Tracy Blad, also from the class of 1993, from Hilton, class of 1993. She is the poster woman for selfless service. I thank her always for supporting me, the family, and everyone around her. Honestly, I would be dead or in jail if it wasn't for her making me better every day. She makes the world better every day. I'm proud of her and grateful to have shared this journey with my best friend. Tracy showed me how to look past myself and to love others. Then there are my Army best buddies, Brian Smith and Derek Zant, who taught me we could always do more. They commanded our unit, the United States Army Aviation Battalion, Japan, the Ninjas, in my absence. They stood by our side as we laid my daughter Abiella to rest. They literally kept my family and unit together. They make me proud every day. They're my brothers forever, and I am grateful for their unconditional love and support. Their selfless service taught me to never give up. In Army aviation, there are many levels of pilot skill. Arriving at your first unit after flight school, you start off in the business as a co-pilot. My first unit was in South Korea along the DMZ, like Carl said, and once you gain enough experience, you become a pilot in command, or PC for short. The PC is the commander of the aircraft. I was assigned to Fort Drum in Watertown and then was in Afghanistan when I became a PC. Not everyone is good enough to be a PC, and then once you become a senior PC, you can become an air mission commander. And of course, that's an AMC for short, and you command formations of aircraft, not just your own. I also became an air mission commander. Was I ever shot at? Yes. Did my aircraft ever get hit? Yes. Was I ever wounded? Not physically. Was I ever scared? Yes. I will tell you this, though. Combat flying is the most exhilarating thing I've ever done. When I look back on my combat tours, I look upon them fondly. There are bonds created in combat when you share a foxhole, or in my case, a cockpit, that can never be broken. I am not going to bore you with any old-timer war stories today, but I do wish that all of my aircrew brethren could have come home, because some did not. So to honor them, I humbly ask you to remember the following. Lastly, aviation war stories wouldn't be possible without mentioning one more group, and that's the aircraft maintainers and crew chiefs. They tirelessly kept our aircraft flying. They are the ones who deserve all the credit for doing the extra hours of hard work. They would fix the aircraft after we were done flying them all day long. They flew as door gunners. They're the unsung heroes of the aviation world. They too have a part in why I stand here today, so I thank them for it. The maintenance crews taught me that you can't do it alone. Success is a team effort. So to all those selfless teachers, soldiers, friends, and families who came before me, who are here now, and who will come after us, thank you for remembering freedom isn't free. I ask all you to remember the words of my Lord and Savior, Jesus, who the Apostle John records as saying, "Greater love has none than this, than to lay down one's life for his friends." Thank you for bestowing me with this honor today, and in Army sense, be all you can be. Thank you. I'm gonna leave this here.
Our next inductee from the class of 1974 is Karen Hermance. Karen is the board president of the Sally Edelman Harry Gardner Cancer Research Foundation. Founded in 1984, has generated more than $1.5 million in funding for the Wilmot Cancer Institute. Karen has been called an inspiration and an example of the difference that one person's voice can make in their community. Introducing Karen this afternoon is her sister, Cheryl Edelman.
Good afternoon. My name is Cheryl Edelman. I am honored today to introduce a new member to the Hilton Alumni Association. She's my sister, best friend, beloved family member, and an outstanding community member, Karen Hermance. She is the family organizer who celebrates and often orchestrates our family gatherings, and is always the first one to answer a call for someone in need. Karen is genuinely driven by caring for family, friends, and community. She readily picked up the reins to lead the Edelman Gardner Cancer Research Foundation prior to my husband George Edelman's passing. He knew then that she would continue to carry on his vision and aspirations. The foundation was his purpose, and now it is Karen's under her leadership. He would be unbelievably proud of what she has accomplished. There is no doubt that George is looking down and proud of her accomplishments. His goal was to raise $1 million. Since 1987, the foundation has raised in excess of $1.5 million for the Wilmot Cancer Center. Due to the Edelman Gardner Cancer Research Foundation's commitment to research, the foundation is among the many donors that led to Wilmot Cancer Center earning the outstanding designation as a National Cancer Institute. Karen's involvement has expanded over the years in the Wilmot cancer community. She helped lead the initial phase of Wilmot Cancer Institute's Community Action Council, serving as co-chair for 4 years. Wilmot Cancer Institute leadership has credited their recent recognition as a National Cancer Institute Center partially on Karen's leadership and willingness to volunteer to help make our community better by serving the needs of those impacted by this horrible, devastating illness. In closing, the Edelman Gardner Cancer Research Foundation's slogan is "It started with one." At first it was George, and now it's Karen. What began with George Edelman now continues to thrive under Karen. Excuse me. I couldn't be more proud at this time to introduce my sister, Karen Hermance. Talk about seasonal allergies. Ooh. I was going to say, John, that I had seasonal allergies as well when I was in the pep rally. You know, just seeing the spirit and the students excited, and I was able to look in the center section of the first row and see a row of very special young students that are very special to me. So good afternoon, members of the Hilton High School community, honored guests, teachers, friends, and family. Standing before you this afternoon as I am inducted into the Hilton High School Wall of Fame is a privilege and an honor that I will always cherish. As I look back on my years at Hilton High School, I am overwhelmed with gratitude for the people and experiences that shaped my journey. This school is more than just a building. It's a place where dreams take root, challenges inspire growth, and friendships last a lifetime. I am humbled to join so many outstanding individuals who have come before me on this wall of fame, and I recognize that this honor is not mine alone, but shared with everyone who has supported me along the way. Let me take a moment to sincerely thank a couple of my teachers, especially two who left a lasting mark on me. One in which is a member of the Hall of Fame, Mrs. Marjorie Wyatt. She was a coach, she was my coach. She was a remarkable leader and always encouraged us and her teams to keep fighting. And Mrs. Philomena Muscadri, my business teacher, they were both constant sources of encouragement. Mrs. Muscadri always took the time between classes to chat with a bunch of us, offering guidance and engaging in meaningful conversations. They had both uplifted us. I appreciate their advice, encouragement, and faith in us when we doubted ourselves. At times, their support went beyond academics. Their kindness made the school feel like home. I still remember one afternoon when I was struggling with a project, Mrs. Muscadri stayed after on her own time to listen and to help. Her compassion gave me the confidence to keep going, a small act that I still carry with me today. Building on the foundation set by my teachers, I am also grateful for the mentors at Kodak. I retired from Kodak in 2019 after 40 years of service. Transitioning into a leadership position in the mid-'80s, especially in manufacturing, a field then dominated by men, was both a challenge as well as a big opportunity. As the first female leader in that environment, I was fortunate to have a mentor, Tom Larkin, who pushed me to succeed, teaching me invaluable lessons in leadership, particularly to listen, something that proved to be important when leading and managing 90 operators. They all inspired me to continue to learn and never be afraid to ask questions. The investment they made, both academically and personally, provided life lessons that fueled my passion and drive, especially in my later work raising money for cancer research. I certainly would not be standing here without the unwavering love and support of my family and friends. You have been my foundation, celebrating my victories and standing by me through my every struggle. Thank you for walking this journey with me and reeling me in when I needed. And you all know what that means. As the president of the Sally Edelman and Harry Gardner Cancer Research Foundation, I've had the opportunity to put my skills, advice, and renewed energy into making a real difference in my retirement. Through the collective efforts of our community, the foundation has donated over $1.5 million to the Wilmot Cancer Center for cancer research. Hilton, this small town, has a huge heart. It's because of them that it made it possible for us to donate that much money. Our board, past and present, many of whom are here today, should also be standing up here with me. I would not be standing here without the work done to keep George Edelman's legacy going. I'm simply carrying the torch passed on because you all laid the foundation to keep this momentum going. This recognition truly belongs to all of you. Wilmot has provided me with the opportunity to be an active community member by serving on their, what they call Protocol and Review Monitoring Committee. I'm a community member that is there to help approve clinical trials for cancer research. I also co-chair the Community Cancer Action Council to educate the community about cancer research, what was going on, what Wilmot was doing and where your dollars were going. To the students, past and present, I hope my journey inspires you to chase your ambitions, to give back to your community, and always recognize the importance of kindness and integrity. Keep that school spirit alive. That pep rally was an amazing experience. And I'm telling you, when I tell you that I need to get reeled in, if I didn't have these little heels on, I think I would have been right out in the middle joining in with those kids. They were having a ball. I am blessed to relive the school spirit with my adopted family that has two very special Hilton students who are on the Hilton golf team and the Hilton lacrosse team, along with their posses. You know, I couldn't wait to finish school. I couldn't wait to retire. Will and Drew, into the posse. Don't rush through life. Enjoy what you have now. I am so proud to be able to watch you grow. This school and community have given me so much, and I am committed to give back in any way that I can. Debbie Mantrello encouraged me to join the Hilton Alumni Association as a volunteer board member, just as a board member. A week later, I was asked to take on the vice president role, being responsible for grants and scholarships. Thank you, Nancy and Debbie. Nancy Laporte, also another inductee who so deserves this award. To everyone who knows me, I recognize that I need to improve my commitment, but I am very excited to work on this incredible and dedicated board that supports our students. You can't help but not get excited when you see the spirit that they have. The Wall of Fame is not just about achievement, it's about making a positive impact and helping others along the way. I encourage everyone in this room to be proud of your Hilton heritage and to continue to build a legacy of excellence and compassion for future generations. Thank you, Hilton Central School District, for this incredible honor. I am proud to be part of this community, and I so look forward to supporting and celebrating all its successes in the future. Thank you.
Now we are pleased to honor Randy Jensen, class of 1976. Randy dedicated more than 40 years of his life to various roles as a firefighter, from volunteer to chief to deputy fire coordinator for Monroe County. He has literally done it all. But perhaps even more impressive is his work with the National Fallen Firefighters Foundation. Under his leadership, the Rochester area tournament for the organization became the largest in the country, raising more than $750,000. Presenting Randy, someone who knows him as well, if not better than anyone, New York State Assemblyman and his son, Josh Jensen.
Thank you very much, Dr. Kosorek, Madam President. I'm so honored to be here, not just to be here for my father, but also as this community's representative in state government to congratulate all 5 inductees on behalf of the 134,000 people I have the honor to represent. The reason, God, what a head of hair he had. So you're not going to see it in the program, or what Casey had talked about his his reasonings, but I think my father is the first inductee who was a model. Believe it or not, he was a Kodak model and was up in Grand Central Station back when he had a head of hair like that. But that's not why he's the newest member, along with the 4 others, of the Hall of Fame. It's because my father has dedicated himself, much like our other inductees, in his life in the service of others. His service is what inspired me to want to represent my community in government and pursue a life of public service. And if you ask my father why he did this, why he chose to work at the 911 center at the Ridge Road Fire District, to be a fire chief, to be a volunteer firefighter, to be a commissioner, to be there for the families of fallen firefighters, he'll tell you about Mrs. Smith. My dad doesn't know Mrs. Smith. But when Mrs. Smith picks up the phone and calls 911, Mrs. Smith is having the worst day of her life. She's scared. She doesn't know what to do. But she knows she needs help. And like the lieutenant colonel said, is that in today's day and age, we need people who put service above self. And for my father, it was always about other people. Whether it was for his family, when I played on the Hilton Cadets varsity high school hockey team, even though my father may have worked overnights at Ridge Road, he would be at practice, watching me, supporting me. When his brother and sister firefighters needed somebody in their corner, the fire department needed to raise money. It was my father who was there to help or to put a word in. Through his work and through his service, he's helped to inspire other people to care about their community, and most of all, care about Mrs. Smith. And not just me, but younger men and women in public service, in the fire service. And as you can see with the people sitting with him, maybe some people who are a little bit older than him. But to be there to always work to ensure our community, our home, is a place we can be proud to call home. And that Mrs. Smith knows that whenever she calls for help, somebody will be there to answer the call. Congratulations, Dad.
Ah, you stole Mrs. Smith. That's all right. She's one of the great stories of life. Thank you very much, Superintendent Kosorek, members of the Board of Education, the Alumni Hall of Fame Selection Committee, and Hilton Central School District. Thank you very, very, very much for this honor. As you go down this journey, you can never do this journey by yourself. And I'm very, very fortunate to have my wife of 38 years, Betsy, with me through this entire journey. Family, not only do we do what we do in the fire service, volunteering our time, but the family also sacrifices. We may not be there for Christmas or Thanksgiving or a birthday, but they understand the commitment and the dedication that we put forth. And I couldn't have done it without Betsy. And if you could give her a huge round of applause, I would really appreciate it. Joshua's made us tremendously proud, representing the 134th District. Without him, I would not have walked in the halls of the White House, stepping foot in the West Wing, or in the halls of Congress. We're fortunate enough to have a great family with his wife, Casey, and Brendan and Margot, our grandchildren. I wish my mom and dad could be here today. We hear this quite a bit so far today about service before self. That was my mom and dad, Edie and Thor Jensen. They taught us about faith and the love of God. And also, I couldn't have achieved these things without my brother Rick, my sister-in-law Marlene, my sister Linda Donovan, who's a retiree from right here in Hilton High School, and my brother-in-law Gary. All my nieces and nephews, because we keep talking about it's a family. Every time I had something going on, or we were doing something, raising money for the foundation, or doing things in the fire department, they were right there, right beside me, making sure that the things needed to get done so we could achieve our goal. I'd like to thank my sister-in-law, Judy Bug, and I was thinking about it as I was sitting next to Betsy, and I was wondering how proud her mom and dad would be of her, knowing that she is committed to my causes, and I think that's tremendous. I think they would be honored to be here also with us this evening. Being a volunteer fire chief, I joined 47 years ago, and if somebody would have told me I would have been fire chief, fire commissioner, deputy county fire coordinator, I would have kind of like said, yeah, no way. Only reason I joined the fire department was to play softball. That's it. So I joined the fire department. Edie and Thor looked at me and said, it's more than just playing softball. It's about being committed to the community. Going when the pager or the radio opens up, you need to be there. And I was like, yeah, okay, I'm going to play softball. But next thing you know, you start being with the brothers in the firehouse. You start responding to calls. And now you started to realize that you were making a difference within your community. And next thing you know, I'm an officer. I'm the fire chief. Now you're overseeing men and women, volunteers. One of the things I learned is you need to treat your people right. Say please and thank you. Thank you for them for coming to these calls. And that meant an awful lot. You have to have mentors, and I've heard that twice so far about mentors. Mentors are very important. I've had my mentors. Charlie Carroll, Eddie Conway, John Murphy, Dick Mambretti. His daughter teaches right here, is a gym teacher. Dave Bowney, city firefighter. John Carmel. You would go into fires with these guys, and they would be like, you go, holy. And they would take you places, but you learn things. They made me a better firefighter. Chief Butch Folkmar, who gave me an opportunity, was the chief of the Ridge Road Fire District, and Deputy Chief Billy Rickman. So it was really important to be in the fire service, and that really was the foundation of how we started going. Next thing you know, Josh is going to Hilton High School. He now plays hockey. And like Josh says, I never missed an opportunity, never missed a game, never missed a practice, because I wanted to be there for Josh. So next thing you know, I become the president of the Booster Club. Great. Just another thing that I needed was to be something else besides fire chief and coordinator and all the other things. So they said, come on, Mr. Jensen, we need you to be the Booster Club president. All right, no problem. Once again, surround yourself with great people. They do all the work. All you have to do is be the conductor of the orchestra. And that worked out pretty well until one day we find out that they're defunding the program. Now you go, holy. So now we work very hard. Once again, getting good people to do a lot of good work. Coach Chris Maffaletto and I worked together, and eventually, through the efforts of everyone around us, we were able to save the program, thanks to the great work of Superintendent David Dimbleby and the Board of Education. Then, next thing you know, the thing that changed my life, getting involved with the National Fallen Firefighters Foundation, a group that takes care of firefighters' families that die in the line of duty. 2006, Deputy Chief Billy Rickman, one of my mentors, organized the first golf tournament right here in Rochester. They had about 74 people, raised several $1,000s, and it was a huge success. Every year, it continued to grow. 5 years later, the deputy retires, says, hey, we need some people to take over. So next thing you know, I get volunteered, and we take over the golf tournament. And we started to grow it even more. We formed a team of individuals who were committed to help our fallen brothers and sisters who died in the line of duty. We are led by a woman by the name of Gail Fowler. Her husband, Bob Fowler, is from Spencerport. And in 1997, on February the 22nd, a windstorm comes through the village of Spencerport. As Bob is going to the job, he's going down Lyle Avenue, going toward the firehouse, and a tree falls, lands on the car, and Bob dies. Line of duty death. His son's in the car with him. He lives, but Bob dies in the line of duty. So Gail, being a part of the National Fallen Firefighters Foundation, now becomes the person who educates us on the importance of taking care of these families. So what do? We get a team. Got 15 people on the team. I have some of them here today. Mikey Lisso, who's a past chief of the Hilton Fire Department, Jack Agora and Tammy Enderden, and Jerry Clement. His son is also a member, also on the Alumni Hall of Fame. And I'm not sure what year, but if you ask Jerry, he'll tell you. So now they're here with us today, and I appreciate them being here. So next thing you know, over the next 16 years, we raised over $750,000 for the foundation. So not that we didn't have enough going on by hosting a golf tournament with over 350, 400 golfers golfing. We decided to take on a stair climb, a 9/11 memorial stair climb, in which those funds go help the firefighters and families that died on September 11th. We've done these for 8 years, and those events, through the stair climb and a bike ride, we've raised almost $250,000. So overall, we've raised well over $1 million for the foundation. We've had over 6,000 people participate in our events, either participated, volunteered, or whatever. And we've also had over 100 Fire Hero families come into the Rochester area through a wellness conference and also through the events that we do. Besides having my family, Betsy and Josh, and the birth of Josh, the two most important things that I've ever been emotionally touched by is my dad going on an honor flight. And if you've ever had an opportunity to do that, please do that. And also being part of a memorial weekend where they honor these families at a celebration and a ceremony. And those are the events that make you realize service before self. I couldn't have done what I've done without some really, really important people. I call them, they're not mentors, they're brothers. They're the advisors that I have. They're the ones that look at you and go, RJ, what the hell are you doing? Why do you want to do that? And they're that voice that you need to have to tell you the truth, to tell you what you don't really want to hear, but they're there for you. First one, he's not here today, is Kevin Francis, Mo. I worked with Mo, part of the Lakeshore Fire Department, worked with him at Ridge Road. Kevin Dornan. Kevin Dornan was the one that got me involved in the fire department, and I thank him every day for that. Jared Meeker, him and I were chiefs together. He was my deputy. He's part of our foundation team. He is a fantastic person. David Williams, nicknamed Tuna. Don't ask me why we call him Tuna, but it's just the name he has. Him and I were chiefs back in the 90s together. We've been friends for well over 40 years. And some people say that we're boyfriends, but I don't think you can say that, but we think alike, we do things alike, and he loves the Orioles, I love the Orioles, and we have a lot of common likes on that. And the last one is Larry Vaughn. Larry is my right-hand man of everything we do with the foundation. He's my sounding board. And I love all of these people to death. I did look at the picture on the screen. I did have red hair at one time. It was full. I was on when I was 6 years old, I was actually on the big billboard in Grand Central Station. I was dressed like an altar boy. And yeah, it's quite interesting. But as I get ready to leave and give you some of my final thoughts are this. First of all, surround yourself with smart people who aren't afraid to tell you the truth. Treat your people right. Show that you appreciate each and every one of them. Say please, say thank you, and be nice. Pretty easy things to have. And also, don't be a jerk. There's another word I would use, but we're also in a group of, we're in a school, and I don't think the superintendent would appreciate me saying that. I'd like to thank George Edelman and the Edelman Bar and Grill. Back in high school, we may have left back in 1976 when you could leave school. The drinking age was 18. There was an opportunity maybe once or twice that we may have gone down, had a hamburger and a Jenny beer. But thank you for those memories. Hilton High School has been a tremendous place. I would never have thought 50 years ago this story would have turned out like it is. I thank the good Lord every day for everything that He has given me. And once again, I thank my family for being with me through this entire journey. Thank you very much, and God bless each and every one of you. Thank you very much. Where are we going to go? Right here? Yep.
Very good. Thank you very much.
You have the same motto.
I have the distinct pleasure of introducing our next Hall of Famer, Nancy Wheelahan Laporte. A 1970 graduate, if there is anyone who personifies the cadet intentional values I spoke of earlier, it's Nancy. From showing her integrity by organizing the first ever Earth Day at Hilton High School to a 27-year career in ministry where she consistently put people first, to welcoming and affirming approach she takes towards everyone she comes in contact with, to the lifelong learning she demonstrates as the head of the Hilton Alumni Association. I have had the pleasure of working closely with Nancy on a number of projects, and her commitment to the district and its students is second to none. Under her leadership, thousands of dollars in scholarships have been awarded, and countless class projects that kids would have missed out on have been funded. I'm pleased to introduce Nancy Wheelahan Laporte.
It's quite an honor, and it's very humbling to receive this award with this group of inductees this year, and with all those surrounding us on that wall over there, not to mention those of you who are in the audience. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you to Jan Starwald, who I met in kindergarten. She knows all my secrets, and she still nominated me. Thank you to the committee for their selection. Thank you to my family, the support that I've had over the years. There aren't words to thank you for who you are. And thank you to Hilton Central School District. Thank you for giving me such a good, solid start on life. I do remember fondly most of my teachers and all the crazy things that we did in school, especially high school. Yes, we were able to leave school to Randy and go down to Ken's for lunch. We also had a senior lounge that allowed smoking. And you can ask me about my Wegmans incident later. It's especially poignant to receive this award at this time in my life because I've got far more accomplishments behind me than ahead of me. When I read the nomination letter that two of my very dear friends and classmates wrote, I said to myself, who is this person? To see a narrative of your life, of your accomplishments in front of you in black and white, it's not just humbling, it made me stop and reflect for a few minutes. And what I saw was a pattern, that there was actually a theme to my life. And it involved community, connections, and kids. I've always known that community was important to me from a very early age when my father, who was a volunteer fireman, died on the way to a fire, and I was 12. And I learned how a Hilton community can support people at a time like that. And it was the school and my class that really helped me get my feet under me. Now I'm going to tell you a little secret. The class of 70 is the best class that ever went through Hilton. We were a good class, we were a crazy class, and despite the cliques and high school drama, because we had it, we definitely were a community. We worked together. Regardless of who you were in the high school pecking order, when the class of 70 was called upon to do something, we did it. And at that pep rally this afternoon, I remembered when our class as freshmen beat the seniors, not because of our spirit costumes. No, our assembly was on parliamentary procedure. We had to hold a meeting, and we beat the seniors. And we were off and running. We beat everybody every year in everything. And I realized then that it's the connection of who people are, the skills they each bring to the table. It doesn't matter what group you fall into. When you're called to come together, you do it. And then there's connections. The connections I have made in the communities I've lived in, whether it was here in Hilton, way back then, and now with the Alumni Association, or the almost 25 years that I lived in Leroy, and one of my dear supporters from Leroy is here today. Thank you, Jim. It's those connections, those people that I remember the most. And I don't think it's any coincidence that the mission statement of the Alumni Association is to connect alumni, educators, and the community to benefit today's students. I could talk for hours about the Alumni Association. It is one of the most exciting, life-giving things I think I have ever done, and not doing it alone. The connections in this community that make this association quite lucrative for the school district, again, are amazing. And then there's the kids, the third part of the theme. The kids that I have worked to support. Now, I'm going to confess to you that it wasn't until I read that letter that I really realized I had a connection with kids. It may sound crazy, because when I saw a need with kids, well, if I could help, I did. If I had something to bring to the table, I did. It was just a part of making it happen. And now as I look back, I think it also had a lot to do with my upbringing in school here, that when we needed support, the school was there, the community was there as kids. So that's my experiences over the last, it feels like 150 years, but they're grounded in three things: community, connection, and kids. The bottom line for me, or that person that was in that letter, is I have learned that we are created to live in community. to be connected in order to help one another, lift each other up, especially the more vulnerable among us. And at a time when so many are trying to disconnect us, divide us, and destroy community, we need each other more than ever. And I'll better watch it or I'll start preaching here. So what I really want to say to all of you is thank you. Thank you for being a part of my community. Thank you for being my connections in the past, in the present, and hopefully in the future. Hilton Central School will always have my heart. Thank you. Now I'm leaving.
Our final honoree today is the embodiment of a student athlete. Jeffrey Sorensen graduated from Hilton in 1988 after helping to lead the soccer team to the New York State Championship in the previous fall. He then went on to Oswego, where he continued to excel in both the classroom and on the field as a 4-year starter for the Lakers. Since leaving college, Jeff has been employed by PricewaterhouseCoopers for more than 30 years. Introducing Jeff is fellow Hilton graduate and current assistant principal at Merton Williams, his brother, Steve Sorensen.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Steve Sorensen. I am the class of 1987 and administrator at Merton Williams Middle School. It is both an honor and a privilege to introduce the next inductee of the Hilton High School Hall of Fame from the class of 1988, my brother, Jeffrey D. Sorensen. Growing up in the Sorensen household, we were taught many lessons, and we may have actually learned a few too. Two of which are to lead if you have the ability, and if presented the opportunity to serve and give back, you had the obligation. My brother embodies these principles, which our parents instilled in us. Jeff graduated from Hilton High School in 1988, where he was a member of the National Honor Society, graduated with honors, was a 3-sport varsity athlete. Notably, he was a starting center midfielder on the Hilton Cadet boys soccer team that won the New York State Public High School Athletic Association Class AAA State Championship in 1987, and he scored the game-winning goals in both the sectional final and Western Regional finals, and we are proud of that, too. He continued his education at SUNY Oswego, majoring in accounting, where he graduated magna cum laude, recipient of the Beta Gamma Sigma Chapter Award. He was a 4-year starter at the Oswego men's soccer team. He earned all SUNYAC honors, was a leading vote-getter for Player of the Year, and received the Dr. T. Fred Holloway Award for excellence both the classroom and on the field. Following graduation, Jeff began his accounting career at PricewaterhouseCoopers, now known as PwC. It was through hard work and dedication, though, while pursuing his MBA at the Simon School of Business and starting a family, where he ascended to the position of partner. Over his 30-plus year career at PwC, Jeff has many accomplishments. Worked with some of the world's largest corporations, taken on numerous leadership positions, has worked in multiple states, and has lived internationally, including Tokyo, Japan. Beyond his professional accomplishments, though, the theme of giving back resonates strongly in his life. Jeff has mentored numerous young professionals in the accounting and business fields, guided college students in their career paths, and supported high school students, including those from Hilton High School. He has generously contributed to multiple school districts and his collegiate alma mater, SUNY Oswego. It is at Oswego that Jeff and his wife have established the Jeffrey and Ginger Bray Sorensen Scholarship to assist students from disadvantaged backgrounds who would otherwise struggle with the financial commitments of a college education. It is with great enthusiasm that I induct and introduce to you the husband of Ginger, the father of Jack, Olivia, and Charlie, the son of Peter and Betty, a member of our proud family, and a mentor to many and a friend to even more. Please join me in welcoming to the Hilton High School Hall of Fame from the class of 1988, Jeffrey David Sorensen.
That was incredibly kind there, Steve. Thank you very much. And Steve mentioned he went to Hilton High School, was a teacher here in Hilton, and is now an administrator. And I know I might be receiving an award in a couple of minutes here, but I think Steve is equally, if not more, deserving for his contributions not only in the community, but with students and teachers alike. So thank you very much, Steve. I know I'm probably between us and a very nice reception, so I will keep this relatively brief. I would like to thank everyone for today. Thank you so much, and I'm deeply honored to receive and be inducted into the Hall of Fame. This recognition means more than I can fully express, especially standing alongside the other four inductees, which, as I sat, I'm sure like everyone else, just blown away by their resumes and their life experiences. First, I'd like to thank the school board. I'd like to thank Dr. Korsiak for his leadership and his support. I want to thank the nominating committee for this tremendous honor. Just want to take a couple of minutes just to reflect on this crazy journey, and it's been crazy. I've been very fortunate to live and work in San Diego, Connecticut, Tokyo, Manhattan, Pittsburgh, and back to Connecticut once again. And all this with my firm, PricewaterhouseCoopers. I've worked closely with many inspiring colleagues, client executives, and iconic companies including IBM, US Steel, Toshiba, and very near and dear to my heart, Eastman Kodak. Through all these moves, through all these changes, a constant in my heart has always been Hilton. Even though life has taken my family and me across a few oceans in many states, Hilton is home. For over 20 years now, Ginger and I, my wife, we have owned a lake house here in Hilton. It's not just a getaway, it's where we plan to retire. It stands as a physical anchor reminding me of the values Hilton instilled in me that I continue to guide everything that I do. Hilton is the school and the community. Its impact on my life and career has been profound. I've been blessed to be taught and am inspired by so many outstanding teachers and administrators. This award has been a blessing on several levels, and one was the ability to reflect on some of those folks who have given back and who have guided me and helped me throughout the years. And it wasn't intentional, but three came to mind immediately. One at the elementary level was Jack Frawley. Tough second grade. I don't know why I look back, but it was a tough second grade. And he was fantastic and helped me get through. The next was a teacher I didn't even have. He was my study hall teacher, Mr. Solinsky. And he was fantastic and a great guide to me when he knew I was struggling. And then last was Mr. Davids. And boy, when I had Mr. Davids for pre-calc, here's what I would tell you. I was a student at that time that was, I'd say, surviving. Wasn't quite thriving at that point. And it was Mr. Davids that taught me that with hard work, persistence, and discipline, that's what really mattered. And they could take that and just go from getting by to really growing. And beyond school, it was my father and my mother who taught me the same rules apply in life. And that is work hard, show up, and no job is beneath you. The best thing I got from Hilton, however, is my wife, Ginger. We met during my senior year of high school. She was a junior. She has always been my anchor, my partner, the person whose support allows us to do what we do. Together, we've built many memories, but our greatest creation, by far, are our three kids. Jack, who's a lawyer in the Bronx. Olivia, who's here today, an accountant in Manhattan. And Charlie, our youngest, who couldn't be here today, is a sophomore at Geneseo studying to be an elementary teacher. So over the next few hours, days, and probably 2 years, I'll be working with the administrators to put a good word in for Charlie. And then, of course, we've got a German son. There's a whole story here. Phil, he's joined us as well. Ginger and I are super proud of Phil as well. Phil is a junior at Boston University, and he is determined, and I believe destined, to be the U.S. Secretary of Treasury at some point in the future. Nancy, I just love what you said. It resonated with me, community and the kids and connections. It really resonated with me. And I look out here, I see my good buddy Troy, who has been there. And he was the kid in second grade. I had bologna and mustard sandwiches. And he had 2 peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. I didn't like mustard. And so every day he and I would trade. I'd get his 2 peanut butter and jelly, and I would get, and he would get my bologna and mustard. And it was that friendship that started in second grade, and he's still my best friend to this day, every step of the way. And that gets that whole point, Nancy, on that connections. It really resonates. You know, it's interesting, as I move, I knew Hilton was always special. But as I've moved away and I go to different places, and I try to explain Hilton, I usually get met with a weird look. Like, what do you mean? You married your high school sweetheart? I'm like, well, yeah, it's fantastic. What do you mean? You go back to Hilton and go to the sporting events? Well, every chance I get. It's something that, or when I tell them I got the lake house in Hilton, they're like, well, you mean like the Finger Lakes? I said, no, I mean Hilton. I've got the lake house. And so it's interesting, and it's when you have these experiences away from Hilton, you realize just how great we have it, and we really do have it great here. But tonight isn't about just looking back. It's also about paying it forward. The community of Hilton has given our family so much, and without question, it has shaped the person that I am today. Ginger and I believe strongly in giving back, and that's why, along with some other good friends, Jeff and Carrie Wilson, we've decided to establish a scholarship in the name of a dear friend and fellow Hilton graduate, Carrie Gerslin, who passed away far too soon. Carrie truly embodied the core values of the Hilton School District and everything that she did. To honor her life and legacy, we're going to create a Carrie Gerslin annual scholarship, an endowed $2,500 scholarship awarded each year to a graduating senior, like Carrie, that lives those very important values of integrity, welcoming, and affirming, people first, and lifelong learning. If you know Carrie, you know. It is our hope that this scholarship not only honors Carrie, but also inspires future generations to carry forward her spirit and the values that make Hilton such a special place. In closing, this alumni award isn't just about me. It's about every teacher who believed and inspired, every challenge overcome, every move made, and we've had plenty, and it's about family. It's truly about home, and that's Hilton for us. It's people, it's schools, and it's values. I accept this award with gratitude, humility, and a resolve to continue honoring the school district and the community wherever our journey takes us. So thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Yes. Congratulations. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Get this out of your way. Perfect.
After hearing about and hearing so many of the amazing graduates from Hilton, we thought it would be appropriate to hear from one of our amazing current students. Senior Natalie Allward is already accumulating a potential Hall of Fame resume. She is a student council president, captain of the varsity field hockey team, member of Sources of Strength, as well as a National Honor Society member. Upon graduation, she plans to attend college, majoring in biomedical science, and hopes to become a pediatric surgeon. Ladies and gentlemen, Natalie Allward.
Good afternoon, distinguished alumni, family, and fellow cadets. As we conclude our Hall of Fame induction ceremony, I stand before you filled with immense pride as your student council president. This ceremony has been a celebration of excellence, dedication, and the enduring spirit that makes our school district so special. To our newest Hall of Fame inductees, congratulations on this well-deserved recognition. Your achievements not only bring honor to yourselves, but also inspire current and future generations of cadets. You exemplify our district's commitment to our intentional values of being welcoming and affirming, putting people first, being lifelong learners, and living with integrity. Your diverse accomplishments showcase the comprehensive education and strong foundation that the Hilton Central School District provides. Current students look to you as role models. To our distinguished guests, faculty, staff, and community members, thank you for being here to honor these remarkable individuals. Your presence underscores the strong bonds that unite Hilton across generations. Special thanks to our Board of Education administration and all those who worked tirelessly to make this ceremony possible. As we conclude, let us carry forward the inspiration we've gained from our inductees' stories. Their success reminds us that every current cadet walking these halls has the same potential for greatness. Please join me in the front foyer for a reception and then, of course, a parade and football game. Go Cadets!
Thank you very much, Natalie. Everyone, as you can see, the present and the future of Hilton High School is in very good hands. So this brings the total number of our inductees into the Hilton Alumni Hall of Fame to 65. And soon there will be 5 new permanent plaques added to the wall. Earlier, as I mentioned, to your right. Thanks for all that you do and what you have done, and everyone you have had to make this a special day. As Natalie mentioned, we'd like to invite you to join us in the foyer for a reception, and everyone is invited to this evening's homecoming parade and then to the football game, where our inductees will serve as honorary captains for the cadets. Thank you very much. We'll see you in the foyer. Congratulations to everyone.